God, I love my cats so much. It makes me want to die. I smell like a chicken tender at this point. I think it's just coming out of my pores. Regular fountain Coke from McDonald's is just the greatest treat. It's a national treasure. Ah! Sup dogs, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex and you're here at PharmD Reads, and today I am starting a little 24-hour readathon. Whoa, I'm starting a 24-hour readathon in case I don't have the guts to include that in the final edit of this video. But yeah, let's not get too into things. So this is gonna be like a combination Home Alone long-ish weekend scary movie-a-thon, readathon, 24 hours also as well, because it's Friday, March 7th, and I don't work again until Monday morning. So I have 3 days off, and my husband is currently in Florida visiting his sister. So house to myself, all the animals to myself, fridge to myself, bank account, we're not touching it, okay? I just had lunch at home. I really wanted to order something, but trying to be good. So yeah, let's get into the reading plans. That's where I would like to start. The first book that I think I am going to tackle is Wolves of the Cala by Stephen King. I have about 200 pages left. I am buddy reading this series with Allie right now, being supervised by our friend Liz, who's like obsessed with this series. And I'm also obsessed with this series. If you haven't read it, I think I've talked about it a couple of times now, but this is like the most fever dream series I've ever read. And like Stephen King in the absolute depths of his drug and alcohol addiction, for sure, for sure. I'm really glad that he is sober now, but yeah, he was not when he wrote this, and it's very good. So I have about 200 pages left. I think I'm gonna hunker down and finish this. And the movie that I am watching is, I will put a little movie poster up top and like flip my camera around for B-roll, but The Werewolves Within, horror comedy. It's on I'm watching it on Shudder. It's on Amazon Prime as well. Sam Richardson, so good, one of my favorite comedic actors. This movie is really, really good. So I thought Werewolves Within, Wolves of the Cala. So we are going to focus on finishing this current read first. And then I also, just for the sake of continuity, this is the other current read that I have that I will potentially pick up during this readathon. I also have another current read, but it's for the Book of the Month series, the backlist that I do. So I don't want to read that for this. Like, I don't want to double down. So Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. This is book 3 of the First Law trilogy, which this is my first experience with Joe Abercrombie as an author, and I am obsessed. This series is so good. It's very Game of Thrones coded. It just kind of gives that vibe, and it's just slam full of dudes fighting each other. So great. I would potentially like to finish this, but I'm also kind of pumped to start some new things. So I still need to film this vid, but I really want to do like a Stephen King deep dive, because one of my reading goals for 2025 is to read the entire Stephen King backlog, and that does indeed include the new book that he's coming out with in May. So I think I'm like, after I finish this, I think I'm like 10 new to me Stephen King reads for 2025 already this year. But I'd like to do a whole video talking about every Stephen King book I've read so far, and kind of like start doing maybe like a quarterly update for 2025. Yeah, that's a good idea. Editing me, write that down somewhere. But Elevation by Stephen King. So I picked this up from the library. It's super, super short. I don't know what it's about. I already have a bookmark in it, and it's 146 pages. So I can knock out this read really quickly, and I'm kind of just in the mood to like hunker down this weekend. It's gloomy, it's cold, I have food at home. Like, I'm not trying to leave. I'm not trying to do much of anything except read, talk to this camera, and pet my dog. Hey, she's right here, Dany. Say hi, princess. Dog ASMR is my favorite kind of ASMR. Okay, so the only thing is, I just saw a friend of mine on Instagram read this and gave it 2 stars. So I'm like, but it's only 146 pages. So we'll see. On that same thread, I also have a couple of novellas on from Kindle Unlimited. One of them is Rum. I'm just going to put pictures on the screen. And the other one is All Systems Red by Martha Wells, which I think is the first of the 4 little novella books that like are the Murderbot series prequel, perhaps. I need to do some more research. I'm pretty sure that's the reading order that I need to start with, but those are really short and cute, so I might pick those up if Elevation is like, I mean, I'm still going to read it because it's part of the Stephen King thing, but we'll get into that when I actually film and post the Stephen King video. Okay, so the last option that I have brought down to the couch, which like as usual, this is all subject to change based on my mood and just wherever the wind takes me. So the last option that I have brought down again is Junie by Erin Crosby Eckstein. I do not know per se what this is about. A young girl must face a life-altering decision after awakening her sister's ghost, navigating truths about love, friendship, and power as the Civil War looms. Junie has spent her life on Bellarine Plantation in Alabama. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is about a 16-year-old slave that awakens her sister's ghost. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. Everyone is talking about this. It is a Good Morning America pick, which my last one, Age of Vice, was hot garbage. So I don't think this is going to be, I think this is going to be really heartbreaking and beautifully written. Like it's speaking to me in that language. So I would like to get to this as well. But yeah, we're hunkering down. We're being cozy as a person like me could possibly get at a time like this. And we're going to read some books. So I will check back in, I think, when I finish this. Oh, let's talk about how I'm doing this. So the likeliness of me staying up for 24 hours straight is slim to none. It's currently 1:21 p.m. Standard Time. And I'm just going to do, I haven't done a 24-hour readathon in a while, but I usually do it this way where I just run the clock. So whenever I'm reading, the stopwatch is we're going to hit start. If I take a break to do B-roll or whatever, then it stops. And we're just going to keep going until it hits 24 hours. I am going to try to stay up as late as possible tonight. I will say that, but I'm going to sleep. Like I'm too old for that shit. While I have my phone out, and speaking of breaks, audiobooks always count on this channel and in this world and in this economy. So let's take a look at a couple of options that I have here. Whoops, I just clicked into it. So I guess we have to listen to it. I really want to do my nails. They're already prepped, trimmed, manicured, cuticled, whatever, but I haven't painted them. And I have this really pretty like lilac, just a very spring color on this gloomy day. It would make me happy. So I would like to take some time to do that at some point. And I really would like to finish editing a video and get it posted tomorrow so I can move on to the next editing project. Will I be able to listen to an audiobook while I do that? No, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but I really do need to do that. So any hoozles. If I do take a break from physically reading, I have Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young, which is her newest release. And a friend of mine read it and said it was absolutely amazing and immaculate and beautiful and made her sob. So I would like to potentially get into that when and if I do my nails. And then I also have Hungerstone by Kat Dunn, which is a new horror release. This one is only 10 hours and I listen on 3x because there's something wrong with me. So I could finish that easily in this. A compulsive feminist reworking of Carmilla, the queer novella that inspired Dracula. A delicious tribute to the inherent horrors of womanhood and the desperate and exquisite vulgarity of desire. This is everything I dream of in a novel. That was the blurb by Ava Reed. So yeah, you had me at Carmilla and this cover with the neon and the gothic. So we have quite the TBR that we can tackle. Again, without further ado, perhaps, what the fuck am I talking about? You know what? Let me take a gratuitous sip of Coke Zero for scrum. We're going to hit the stopwatch and we're going to get this party started. All right, I will check back in when I have an update, which is hopefully finishing The Worlds of the Cow. Bye. Hello. update time. Okay, we made it just about almost exactly 2 hours, 2 hours and 1 minute. It took me about 4.5 hours to accomplish that 2-hour stretch of reading, so that was good. And as predicted, I was able to finish Wolves of the Calla by Stephen King. So I'm pretty sure this is book number 10 for my Stephen King adventure. Again, I'll talk about it more in another video that I'm planning to make. A lot of these books, this is like an 8-book series, and a lot of them are kind of like side quests in a video game. And this one was one of those, and it was a pretty long one. The pacing kind of lost me in the middle. Roland and the quartet basically have to help rescue a town from these wolves that come every once in a while and steal their children. And we spend this, my edition is like 780 pages long. We spend the majority of this just wish-washing around the town in the month prior to the wolves coming, trying to unravel more mysteries about the tower, timelines, the universes, the interconnectedness of Ka in and of itself, and loved it. I gave this 4 stars. It's not my favorite one of the series that I've read so far. I still think The Drawing of the Three or The Wastelands is my favorite, but this one was really good, and we only have 2 more books left. So we have The Song of Susanna up next. Oh, well, this ended on a crazy cliffhanger, so I'm super ready for The Song of Susanna, and then the last book is The Dark Tower, and I can't wait. Like, I don't want it to be over, but I do, all at the same time. So I am now sitting here considering what I would like to pick up next. It's definitely not going to be this. I'm a little Stephen King out right now, TBH. So I really think I need to pick Junie up for this readathon. I just feel strongly about it. We can definitely finish it. It's about 350-ish pages, a little bit more, 360. This can be done tonight if I really sit down and hustle with it. So do I need to? No. You can read as fast or as slow as you want, but part of the enjoyment of filming these 24-hour readathons or, challenges is kind of checking things off my physical TBR or just my TBR in general. This is a library borrow. It's a brand new release. It's really popular. I'm sure there's a lot of other people waiting to read it. So it would be very nice of me if I read it for this readathon. So I think I'm going to order a triple dipper from Joyce for dinner because I can't stop thinking about one. And then I'm strongly considering making salted caramel walnut brownies for dessert. But we're going to cross that bridge when I come to it. So yeah, that's the update. Book 1 completed, 200 pages, some odd down. And I think I'm going to go with Junie next. Also, I forgot to update, but I am now watching 30 Days of Night, which is so good. One of my favorite vampire movies. If you've not seen it, it's pretty old. It's like early 2000s, I think. And I hadn't seen it up until like a couple of years ago for the first time. And it's really good for vampire fans everywhere. Also, speaking of the crossover in Wolves of the Calla, incepted my brain. Okay, I'll be back when I have some snacks and when I have an update on Junie. Hello again. I have returned to reading after the trippy dippy break, and it was very good. And I have indeed set out butter and eggs to potentially still make the brownies, but currently having like my 3rd Coke in a row because I'm fighting for my life already. Like, I could go to bed right now and it's 7:30. So I did want to check in. I am a little over 100 pages into Junie, and I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, 108 pages. So I think I'm starting chapter 12, a Yizer chapter 12. I'm really enjoying this. I can tell that it's going to be haunting. It's going to be very emotional. It's going to be impactful and important. I think Good Morning America actually made a good call for once. So good for them. So far this is following our main character, Junie, who is a housemaid slash cook. She is a slave girl. She's 16 years old and she works on the Blair plantation, I believe. Bellarine plantation in Alabama. Her sister Minnie is no longer with us. And the book opens up Junie accidentally conjuring her ghost. And we now have kind of like two storylines happening where Junie is accomplishing some sort of task to let her sister Minnie's spirit rest. There's like some unfinished business that she basically has to finish for her sister so she can like escape the mortal plane, right? And then at the same time, we're watching Junie deal with his brother and sister, Bo and B Taylor, who have come to the plantation because the guy is being set up with Violet, who is the daughter of the McQueens, who are the owners of the Bellarine plantation where Junie works. So, like, I'm not sure if this is meant to be, let me choose love. Like, it's almost reading kind of like a horror, but I don't know if that is because of like the ghosty kind of mystery aspect that we're getting or because of the horrors of slavery. Probably a little bit of both, but I'm unsure. I think this is just literary fiction, but it's very well written. It's reading very quickly. It's very fast paced and I'm feeling a lot of things about it. Just have to wake up a little bit to continue reading it. So I am going to try to just blast this in one sitting and just like, wow, we finished 2 books right off the bat. Take way too many breaks. I have been doing this for hours and I'm only 3.5. I'm only 3 hours and 35 minutes in. Holy cannoli. But yeah, that's my update for now. I am going to finish this sody and then I think I'm going to get the oven preheated so we can get this brownie party started and hope that warm brownies and milk doesn't immediately put me to bed because I really want to try to either start. So my plan for tonight is to continue the movie marathon. Also, the first Omen is actually fucking scary. I don't know if I've seen the other Omens. This is the newest one, but it's a prequel and I don't know that I've actually seen the originals. So I'm going to continue watching this. I have 45 minutes left of this. We're going to get through as much of Junie as possible in the next little block of time I'm going to give myself before I come back to update and hopefully make some delicious. I've landed on salted caramel walnut brownies. Very excited. Okay, bye forever. Not really, but whatever. Howdy, brownies are in the oven. I had a can of iced coffee in my hand and I was like, no, it's 9:11 p.m. MST and I put espresso powder in my brownies. So we're going to just hope that that's enough caffeine to get us to power through because I'm only at 4 hours and 32 minutes today and it's almost 9:15 p.m. Like what? All right. In my defense, we are trying to sell our home in Florida and potentially not live in Colorado anymore. I know. When is she going to stop moving? I wish I knew as well for myself, but here we are. So we had a realtor that sucked. I fired him last week, had a new realtor. We had to like have the whole meeting thing, whatever today. And it worked out that my husband was already in Florida for that. So today's just been like kind of a stressful day, even though I was trying for it to not be. But anywho, the brownies are going to save everything. And also this book. So I am now about halfway through Junie and I am really enjoying this. It reads kind of YA. I don't think it is a YA, but that could just be because the characters are young, really, mostly that we're following. Like even the plantation owner's daughter, who is like the arranged marriage girl, kind of a storyline that we have going on. She's 17 and her prospective fiance is not much older than her. So the characters are fairly young and the writing is very like straightforward. It's not flowery. It's not trying to be anything that it doesn't want to be. I don't know. It's just giving the right amount of zhuzh. This is heavier material, of course, because, you know, it's slavery pre-Civil War. We're in 1860. So yeah, I am really enjoying this. I am still hopeful to finish it this evening. I have about 200 pages left, I would say. So that's doable if I can keep my strength and my energy up. I just put on another movie and took my pants off. So the readathon's gonna really get started now. Oh shit, what was I watching it on? The Blackwell Ghost one. Love movies like this. Hold on, this needs to be hushed up for a sec. Resume. Okay, so this one is a documentary, like found footage situation where the guy is he's gonna prove the existence of ghosts, and I can't wait to see how that works out. I have a little angel because I've proven that angels exist. Cash up to no good for sure, but he's a little angel as well. Hey, buddy. So yeah, we're going to get back to reading and eat some brownies when they're ready. I am going to do the salted caramel sauce for over top of the cooled brownies. We got a little time for that then. Yeah, that's my update. Am I going to change scenery? I did not all day today. I will probably a little bit tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll start the day off in the library. We'll have morning coffee in the library. We'll do some reading in the yaya chair. Perhaps some crochet audiobook time. The world's my oyster. I have another 48 hours to get this done. I'm giving myself, I was trying to do today and tomorrow, but I started too late. Like you need to start this shit at like 4 a.m. the day that you're going to do it. So I'm going to give myself until Sunday at noon. That is my goal because I don't want to spend like my whole Sunday because I do have to work Monday 9 to 7. Like I don't want to give myself Sunday scaries with pressure of completing a readathon. So we're going to give it until noon, Sunday, March 9th. Okay, I'll be back with another update / in 20 minutes when the brownies are done. Okay, so I'm fading. It is almost midnight. Yeah, it's 11:48 p.m. I'm 6 hours and 35 minutes in, and I have like 45 pages left of Junie, and I could sob, but I'm too tired. It's gotten very painful to read in the last 50%. Like, this is a very powerful read. This is a book that they wish they could ban. Like, that is how important important I already think this is. This is definitely probably going to be a 5-star read for me. It was a 4 and then it was a 4.5, and I just feel like these last 45 pages are going to rip my heart out and stomp all over it. So I think my plan is to continue watching What We Do in the Shadows down here and finish Junie, and that will be 2 books in, and then go upstairs and lay in my bed and read on my Kindle as long as I possibly can. I'm leaning towards continuing The Last Argument of Kings versus starting a new book, but we will see where my energy takes me when we get up. I think I'll probably do my update, like my final thoughts about Junie up there before I fall asleep. I'm gonna try really hard to continue staying up. I feel it happening. I feel very obvious. I'm just a sleepy person. I'll be back when I finish Junie. I just had to come update about how insanely emotional it is. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's just because I'm so tired. I gave up. Well. Scenery change. Finally. It almost sounds like I've gotten my second win, and I think it's just because I'm really excited to eat my brownies, which smell and look good. I didn't film making the caramel because I fudged up. What had happened was, so the directions said you melt. I'm not like a caramel making aficionado. It's not something that I make homemade often. I bake probably like 5 times a month, I would say. So like I'm not doing it super often, but I do enjoy it, as you guys know. And anyway, so naturally I didn't follow the directions and I pretended like I was on fucking Top Chef, Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen, whatever the hell. And I didn't follow the directions, which were melt the sugar and then add that to butter and heavy cream. Didn't have heavy cream, barely enough, half. Kind of like created this caramel with like skim milk. I mean, it's not, hey, Craigie, but look. Someone's interested. He definitely want to lick the salt off of it. No, sir. Hey, you can't have chocolate. Nope. He will watch. He might do it and try to like come get it out of my hand. One time he like yelled at me. He went like, he didn't hiss, but he wasn't pumped. Anyway, okay. The caramel. It's grainy. And what I did was, as the sugar was melting, I added a splash of cream, which immediately burned because my pan was too hot. Like it burnt up, and then it seized the sugar and made almost this like hard candy. Anywho, I just kind of like filtered out the smoothest parts of the sauce that I made. I would call it more of like a caramel like sauce. And then I just sprinkled some flaky sea salt. And now I'm going to eat it with a glass of milk. Right, here he comes. This is the best thing that ever happened. He's coming to try to get his brownie snack. No, ma'am. Neither of you can have this. And then Dany gets buck wild because she thinks everything is for her, which is insane because it's not. So, I have to stand guard now. Finished. And thoughts are, wow. So I am actually going to stick with Craigie. You can't have it, bud. Sorry, buddy. I am actually going to stick with a 4.5 rating because I felt that the ending was a little abrupt. I do like the way that it ended. I just kind of wanted it to be a little bit more fleshed out. So, and then also maybe I just didn't want it to end perhaps the way that it did. I don't know. Look at him. He thinks he's so slick. Do you see this right now? Like he knows what he's up to too. God, I love my cat so much. It makes me want to die. Anyway. I don't want to talk, I never want to talk too much about the plot, especially when I finish a book and I have my initial thoughts because spoilers, but I think everyone should be reading this. Like, Good Morning America really finally did something. This is fantastic. I can and cannot believe that this is this author's debut novel. I read the author's note, and this is based on, I believe, her great-great-great-grandmother who escaped slavery in a very similar fashion. Let me see here. Where'd it go? My great-great-great-grandmother. Yeah. And I just think that's so powerful and so beautiful that you can capture some of your family's history and like share it with the world. So I think that just was made a lot more special by reading the author's note. So I'm going to do that more often. I skip acknowledgments and shit like that, but I don't want to do that anymore. So funny. Born in Montgomery, Alabama. I don't know why I said funny. Anyway, book number 2, done. Craig and I are going to eat this brownie. I may figure out how to let him have some of the caramel. I probably will. And I think I'm going to stick to what I said in the last update and start with Last Argument of Kings because I am pretty tired, and I'm not gonna like fight my body. I'm 33 and I'm just tired 24/7, 365. Post Malone said always tired right here, and he said it best. All right, I'm 38% in. So I think I'll start here, and then if I'm really feeling it, I'll start another read. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Getting cranky now because I just want to eat my brownie and go to sleep, which may happen. So I'll either be back to update tonight or tomorrow morning. I am gonna, if I like feel like I'm fading and fall asleep, I'm gonna put an alarm pretty early to try to get up and have that can of iced coffee that I have. It's gonna be so good. I don't know. I'll have to show the brand in the morning, but it's very tasty. It's like a canned vanilla iced latte with cold brew or some shit, but it's not super sweet and it's like not super strong. It's just like a good balance. And they were buy one get one free at work the other day, so whatevs. Yeah, I would like to wake up and have a nice coffee, and we'll get back to the reading, whatever I end up with tomorrow. All right, so it's 2 books down. Oh, update on the time, Craig. We're 7 hours and 8 minutes in. Whoa, Inception. Cool. So we'll see how much more I can get in. I'm going to start the timer now, and TGYL. Good morning. Wow. Okay. That was a struggle to get prepared. Cheers. I'm having this canned iced coffee that I think I was talking about. La Colombe. Oh, squeaky. Okay. I did not read it all last night. Not even a little bit. Not even at all. So we have our work cut out for us because then I also slept in. It is now like 10:30-ish almost a.m., 10:18, and I'm at 7 hours and 8 minutes for the readathon and 2 books in. So I know I said that I was gonna like hit the Kindles pretty hard, which is definitely still something that I potentially will probably do. But I just wasn't feeling Last Argument of Kings last night. I don't know. So I didn't pick it up, and I was really tired and I couldn't do it. So I've got Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, which is book 2 to Strange the Dreamer, which slap. And then I also have Vilest Things by Chloe Gong, which is book 2 to Immortal Longings, which I just read for my Book of the Month challenge, and I really, really liked it. So those 2 are options. We still have Last Argument of Kings. I'm 38% into that. And then I did go ahead and grab some more physical options because now I'm just in the mood to like read, like hold a book in my hands. I didn't want that Stephen King to be my shorty, so I got 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Agustina Bastarrica. This is the collection or it is a collection of short stories. I believe it's like 100 pages, 138. We can blast through this pretty quickly, and their new book is coming out, or just came out this past week. Tender as the Flesh is one of the better horror books that I've ever read. So I guess while we're here, we can talk about, I did get my new kitten. This is Claudette. I had a whole like reveal planned for her, but it just kind of got away from me there. But she's the sweetest cat that's ever existed on the face of the planet, and I'm obsessed with her. So that's all you needed to know. I also picked up Asunder by Kirsten Hall. I had picked this up in another vlog and then never actually started it. Karis Eska is a death speaker locked into an irrevocable compact with Sebaster, a terrifying eldritch being, 3-faced, 100-winged, unforgiving, was granted her the ability to communicate with the newly departed. Fantastic. Together they must journey to the heart of a fated empire. Ghosts, ethereal, maybe some romance. I'm in. And then the last one that I grabbed is House of Frank by Kay Sinclair. I showed this in one of my Book of the Months, I think, in a haul, but I just could not stop staring at this cover when I was at Barnes & Noble, and this is a warm and I can't read today. This is a warm and hopeful story of a lonely witch consumed by grief who discovers a whimsical cast of characters and a magical arboretum. Arboretum. That's a word. All right. So those are some physical options. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to just start off my morning with Last Argument of Kings and just, have a continued read for right now while I consider which one of these I may be starting next. So without further ado, let us get this party back started. Excited to see how many hours we get. Holy cannoli, how'd you get there? Immediately has realized her mistake. You just want to look out the window, see if there's any doggies. okay. I just won't move at all so I don't smush you back there. God, I love being an animal mom. All right, I'll be back when I have an update. Hi! Obviously, I have switched back to the couch, so sorry. We're back in the beige kingdom. Anyway, I'm doing terrible. And by doing terrible, I mean I'm having a great weekend. I'm having such a fun time filming this. I'm having a fun time with the books that I'm picking up. I have been spending so much time with the animals and just relaxing, and I just needed this like little Home Alone type solo weekend. But I wanted to pop in an update on the location change. I came down here because the Auburn, Alabama college basketball game is on, and my husband and I always watch together, but he's in Florida watching with his dad and his sister and her boyfriend, so I'm just watching by myself, but like in spirit. And I absolutely love sports for like background watching while I read anyway, so this is perfecto. But I thought I would do an update on reading and time. So I did pick up Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. I read about 10%, so now I'm at 47%. So I definitely think that we could possibly finish that on this readathon. I do have about 300 pages left, so we'll see. But it's so much easier to read 300 Kindle pages than it is to read 300 physical pages. So we could probably get that done. But what I did switch to, I did pick up 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina Bazterrica, and I am definitely about to finish it. I'm like halfway through, or probably only have about 50-ish pages left. 130, 60, yeah, like 60-ish, 60, 70 pages left. So it's okay. I definitely prefer Tender as the Flesh. Some of these stories, I have absolutely no idea what I've read at the end of them. So I don't know. I don't see it being more than a 3, but I do enjoy this author. So, and it's really quick and a short read, and we can just knock out a nice little short book for this readathon. So time check, 8 hours and 15 minutes. That's what I mean when I say I'm doing terribly. Like, I need to get my SHIT together and get some reading in. So I have been taking breaks often though, because I'm an adult with a house to upkeep. So like I've been doing dishes and laundry and chores and like things that I'm, I don't really care to record, and Billy Ray doesn't either. So I had to take my recycling out, bring the trash in, bring trash out, or the trash barrel up through the drive-thru. Anyway, I digress. I will be back when I finish this. Also, spoiler alert, I did order Raising Cane's. It had to be done. So I need to also get a grocery order done. I have one put together, but I need to finish it, get that in pickup tomorrow so I can start my week off like a normal human being and not constantly eating chicken tenders. So yeah, I'll be back when I have an update on 19 class, which is finishing it. Hi. Why does my voice have to crack like a 13-year-old boy every time I try to start a clip? I just don't get it. Okay. I finished 19 Claws and a Blackbird, and I'm sticking to 3, which is generous, I feel like. Maybe no. 2.75. I just didn't care really for any of the stories. I didn't really understand most of them. A couple of them were okay, but they were all like varying lengths. There were a couple that were pretty long, and then there was like 2 or 3 of them that were 1 or 2 pages. So I'm glad that I read it. So I think maybe I will stick with the 3 just because I do enjoy this author, and I'm really enjoying including more translated works, more short story collections. I just finished my first nonfiction of the year, which was Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, which I think should be required reading in schools before they try to fucking ban it. But yeah, this is book number 3. I don't really have much else to say about it. Would I recommend it? Probably not. Unless you really like this author. I really like Tender as the Flesh. It's one of the best horror books that I've ever read. So this author also has another book, like I said, that's either already come out or it's coming out in March that I will definitely be picking up from the library. So that's all I have to say about that. All right. I think, I don't know what I'm going to do. No, I think I'm going to pick Last Argument of Kings back up for the rest of the basketball game because I desperately need to take a break and shower. I smell like a chicken tender at this point. I think it's just coming out of my pores. So I'm going to read Last Argument of Kings on my Kindle Oasis until this game is over. And then I'm going to take a break to shower and then I think probably start a new book. So I still brought Asunder and House of Frank. I really think I'm going to pick up House of Frank. I'm just in the mood for, it's not a floppy paperback. It's actually kind of stiff. So I'm going to probably crack the shit out of the spine. I don't really want to, but I probably will. I just love this cover. It is very unique. I haven't seen anyone talking about it, so I just want to give it a try. I think it's like more cozy fantasy, which is not really my jam, I don't think, but the cover just speaks to me. So I think I kind of want to get to that. And Asunder, I've just had it from the library for so long. Oh, that's some tiny font. How's this one looking? We can deal with it. All right, so time update. We are at 8:58, so we're at just about 9 hours. It is about 2 p.m. It's 1:56 p.m. MST, so we've got some work to do. I did not caffeinate last night because I wasn't in the mood, but you know what? I'm actually really motivated. I'm excited. I'm having fun, and I'm taking a lot of breaks because I'm doing chores around the house, so I really like to just continue doing that throughout the day while there's daylight and I have motivation, and then maybe have a coffee at like 5 or 6 instead of 3 or 4 and see if that gives us some momentum to read through the night. Because like my husband's not here, there's no one to bother with my bullshit late into the night. And I think if I get delirious as fuck at like 2 a.m., that's gonna be some good content. So yeah, I'm screaming into this mic. I need to charge my phone. I am gonna read Last Argument of Kings and I'm gonna continue watching the game. Auburn is now up by 2 points, so I gotta go. Bye. Hi. Okay, me and my crooked ass angle are here to check in, and I'm about to sneeze. Oh, son of a bitch. Very good. Okay, so I wanted to check in because I have officially hit the 12-hour mark. So we're halfway there, and it's only 5:30 p.m., which is like a day and a half after I started this. I take so many breaks, but honestly, I'm just having a good time. Like, it's motivating me to pick up more books, which is great. So I am 78% done with Last Argument of Kings, which I'm hoping to finish up with this readathon and then start something else. I desperately still need to take a shower though, but I just keep doing this thing where I'm like, okay, like one more chapter, or let me hit this benchmark. And then I was like, okay, well, let me just hit 12 hours and do an update. And now I'm like, well, I just put this movie on. I'll take a shower after this movie. And then I'll be like, well, I want to eat something and I'll just wait until after I eat. And that's on, whatever's going on with my brain chemistry. So I'm just going to keep the momentum going. I have about 145 pages left of this. So I could potentially finish it during this movie and then take a shower. And it'll be like 6:30-ish, 7. And then I'll eat and feed Dany. And then I'm going to try to go because I just had a coffee. So let's see if we can finish this off strong. All right, just another 12 hours. Bye. Hey, I showered finally so many hours after I initially intended to, but I thought it was also going to give me a second wind, but what it's really done is relax me so intensely that I could pass out right now at 7:45 p.m. So great. But I did finish Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. Again, this is book 3 of the First Law trilogy. Also, the noise you hear is the cats playing with a paper bag that's on the ground. So whatever. Yeah, I enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4-star. I gave books 1 and 2 5 stars. This one felt a little bit unnecessarily long, and I find often that third books in trilogies tend to do that. A lot of times things could be a duology. I don't think this particular series could have been a duology, but I do think book 3 could have benefited a little bit from some editing. But 4 stars, very enjoyable. Am I losing steam? Tomato, potato. That's neither here nor there, okay? But what I am struggling with is deciding if I want to start House of Frank or if I want to start Asunder or if I want to start neither of them. So I am going to, I think, read a chapter of just like whatever and then see where the night takes me. For a time update, we are at 13, just about 13.5 hours in. So yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to last tonight. And I also don't know how much I'm going to commit to this tomorrow because it is Sunday. I go back to work on Monday. I have stuff and things still to get done. So that's just a little Claudette. Her name is Claudette. I don't know if I even said that. So we have Cash, Carl, Craig, and Claudette now because I'm insane. So yeah, I will check back when I have an update on which book I've gone with and hopefully like an update on the actual book. Ah! Look at that. Pocket. Perfect. Wow. Okay. Hey. So it's 11. Wait. Oh. I gotta pause my timer. Stop. Okay. So we are at 16 hours just about of reading for this readathon. And I am here to update that I am 188 pages into House of Frank by Kay Sinclair. So this book is very much cozy fantasy, and I think I do like cozy fantasy. I think the writing in this is a bit choppy. It's a bit elementary in my opinion. I mean, it is a debut. Big heavy breathing. Yeah, you had to come up the stairs. Did you have to come up the stairs? It was hard, huh? Yeah. I'm gonna pop a squat, take a little resty rest. Mama's just updating. What you sniffing? You want to get under here? Go ahead. She loves laying under my desk. It's her absolute favorite thing in the entire planet. Hey, Claudette. I can't believe I was so casual about this kitten reveal. Editing me, please put like a montage. Oh, okay. Of Claudette's perfect little face. Look at her. Just look at her little paws. Cat owners only get this feeling. Dan, what is you doing? Oh, okay. We've gone off the rails back here. I'm being swiveled against my will. Hey. Dan, go lay down over there, baby. Dany, come on. Over there. Ow! Oh, big shock. Okay. Everything's fine. All right. Wow. What an assault on the senses for all of us. I have a headache and I just took some Tylenol and my nightly meds. So hopefully that will go away because I'm trying to give myself a second wind real hard right now. I think I can finish this. I have like less than I have 150-ish pages left, which I think I can settle down and do. This story is very similar to House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. It very much has that vibe. We're following our main character, Saika, who is a music wit that has traveled many years after the death of her sister to the ash house where there is an arboretum. I cannot say it. Arboretum. Arboretum. Oh my god, I'm crying over it. That's a tough word for me. Basically, this like centaur kind of creature named Frank owns this house, And in the back here is the Arboretum, and that is where you can bring the ashes of your loved one to have a ceremony to plant them in this like magical realm that he's created in the Arboretum, where the ashes of your loved one create a new life in the form of a beautiful tree, which I think is just like a really nice kind of beautiful and sad and like haunting kind of backsplash for the forefront of the plot, which is Saika dealing with the grief of the loss of her sister. At this point in the story, I'm pretty far along. I now know some stuff and some things about what is going on with Saika. She is not doing so well physically as well as mentally, and I'm really invested to see where that goes. It's very atmospheric and it is very like whimsical, and I'm imagining like a very lush garden setting. I mean, this cover is exactly what it's giving. The creatures that live in the house are all really fun to get to know, and that's why it reminds me of House of the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, because it's like a cast of characters, but it's not children like in that book. Like these are all older fantastical creatures. There's a fairy and there's cherubs, which are like twins. Well, they're triplets. Anywho. Wow, there is a lot to unpack here, and I truly feel, before I continue on, well, what I was going to say was I truly feel like it's going to break my heart in the last third that I'm in right now, but also there is I think, sapphic romance brewing between the half-gargoyle witch character named Ollie, who lives in Ash House, and her contribution is she's kind of like the fixer, like she just kind of does a little bit of everything around the house. Her and Saika, I think, have this like rivals to lovers kind of thing going on, which is pretty cute. So we're just gonna all crash out apparently. Yeah. You get your baby? Okay. Bet. That's it? Okay. Yeah, so we are going to try to get some B-roll, get our 13th wind really is what it is, and start the clock again and see how many more hours we can get before I crash out. Good morning. Sorry about the lighting being directly in our faces, but I'm in the comfy cozy chair and I'm not getting up right now. So what happened was I just woke up, and now daylight savings time did kick in last night, so I lost an hour, but I woke up at like the crack of 11 a.m. So it's now 11:43 and I have 7 a little less than 7 hours left. And my reading update and my plan for the day is what I would like to discuss at this moment in time. So I ended up going with All Systems Red, which is book 1 of the Murderbot series by Martha Wells. And I've really been wanting to read this anyway. It's really short. It was available on KU. And yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm about 30% in. So I think my plan for right now is, so it's Sunday, March 9th. And that's Showbiz, baby. I don't know if I've shown these mugs before, but Jessica bought them for me. And yeah, they're everything that I've ever needed in life. So thank you for that. I have an insane amount of chores to do. I need to do laundry. I need to clean the bathrooms. I need to finish taking recycling and trash out. Yeah, I did not cross a lot off of the chore list this weekend, but we persevere. So I don't want to chat too much. I think my plan is drink coffee, wake up, finish book 6 for this readathon, and then we're gonna switch to an audiobook for some chores. So I think I'm gonna go with Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. So this is going to be the audiobook. I'm just in the mood for a romance, and she does not miss. I've read 2 of her books so far, and one, Out on a Limb, was 5 stars, and Next to You is 4 stars. So I've heard this one is really good as well. I'm going to pop some headphones in, and that's what we're going to do for reading time while we're choring. I also would like to get back to some scary movies, perhaps. So we'll see where the day takes us. But I fed all the animals and dressed myself, which I think is like the hardest part of the day. So smooth sailing after this. I work 9 to 7 tomorrow. I'm not the main pharmacist, so I don't really care. Yeah, no Sunday scaries here, baby. Let's go. Well, if it isn't little old me again, checking in. So a couple of updates. I did finish All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Again, this is book 1 of the Murderbot Diaries, which are 4 novellas that are part of this 7-book world. I think it's the Murderbot Diaries is the whole 7 books, but like the last 3 are full-length books, I believe. All the first 4 are novellas, like giving backstory. So this follows our main character, who is the actual Murderbot, and we are in like this sci-fi world where intergalactic space travel is possible, but you can only go to other planets if it's approved by the company. And if you do go, you get assigned one of these like android kind of, they don't want to be considered half human, half robot, but that's often how they are, like accepted by humans. So every expedition gets one of these assigned to it. And this particular dude, who refers to himself as Murderbot, like this is a unique thing to them, I should say. And we find them on an expedition, and the team is just doing like a routine kind of like planetary exploration, and they stumble onto this murder mystery essentially, and we kind of go from there. I found this very interesting and obviously super fast paced. It was like less than 150 pages. I probably read it in like an hour and a half total. I ended up giving it 3 stars because I felt like it was too heavy on jargon for like the beginning of a series, even though it was a novella. But by the end of it, I did feel like I was kind of getting to know Murderbot and like where we were going with the story. I also was just kind of like, I think I'm a little burnt out at this point because we are at 19 hours and 37 minutes. So we only have 4.5 hours left. It is 2:47 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I feel like it's 1:47 because of the daylight savings time. And I'm probably going to be up all night again because I've been staying up way too late. So I slept in way too late this morning because I stayed up till 3 a.m. actually reading. But now we only have 4.5 hours left. So like I wasn't going to do anything else today besides read. That was a lot of chit chat. Okay, so we finished our 6th book for the readathon. We also had a McDelivery snack. I have a grocery order coming in a few hours for the week. So that way when my husband gets back tomorrow, I also have Tuesday off. So I work all day tomorrow, but I should have time to get a few things ready tonight. That way he can have food when he gets home. I have food for work, blah, blah, blah. I am glad that I took an hour just like completely focused on cleaning. I was planning on starting Out of the Woods for my audiobook choice, but I don't know if I'll even get to an audiobook for this vlog. I'm very much enjoying just like picking up books and touching them in one way, shape, or form. So Dany's gonna glug water for a couple of hours, so let's just let that happen. Regular fountain Coke from McDonald's is just the greatest treat. It's a national treasure. I wish I had one like just in my house, and also it wasn't slam full of sugar. Oh fuck, I forgot I put a Coke Zero in the freezer. Bye. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Shit, that was so long ago. Whoops. All right, we're just going to leave that over here for a little while. Dan. And Dany's all done drinking water. Look at that. Okay. Oh, I moved this. I forgot. I was like, why is it so far away? Crisis averted, probably. So with my 4.5 hours left, I am completely down to just my book of the month book for current reads. So world's my oyster, as they say. I have 2 options still from Libby that I could possibly dabble into, and that is Violet's Things by Chloe Gong, which is book 2 in that duology. I can't remember what it's called, but book 1 is Immortal Longings, which I just read for my book of the month challenge, and I really liked it. And then the other book I have is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, which is book 2 to Strange the Dreamer, which I also just finished and gave 4 stars. Strange the Dreamer is everything that any book by Erin Morgenstern wishes it could be. So if you've ever read The Night Circus or Starless Sea and you are part of my crowd, which is like, what the fuck did I just read? This was garbage? Nonsense garbage. Strange the Dreamer is actually a good fever dream version of whatever those books are trying to be. So with all that said, I still think I have had this from the library for just too long, and I've brought it up in like 3 vlogs at this point and haven't actually started it. So I am going to kick into Asunder by Kirsten Hall, see where it takes me, continue. I did do a massive cleaning, probably took like an hour, and then ordered food, ate, groceries are done, like feeling pretty good, feeling pretty productive today because I wasn't very productive the last 2 days. I really was just focusing on the readathon, but I don't want my house to be nasty for just like the rest of the day. So I'm glad I did that. Sheets are in the washing machine. I got to do my duvet cover next. And then I do have a mountain of clothes left to wash, but I'm just not in the mood to start that yet. So we'll get there when we get there. All right. I will be back when I have an update, hopefully on Asunder, but just whatever book I end up actually reading. Howdy partners, we are almost done, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited about that. So we have just under 2 hours left, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited. I would like to take a break from using my eyes. I think that would be nice. So I did want to check in now that we're coming kind of to the end of the readathon, but I am about 90 pages into Asunder, and this is really interesting. So we're following our main character, Karis, who is a death speaker, meaning that she has a pact with this world's kind of like higher beings, gods, angels type of a situation called Ephrite. And through this pact, she has the power of death speaking. So she can see into like the realm beyond ours and is able to communicate with the dead. At the beginning of the book, we find her kind of like on this Aladdin Cave of Wonders style mission where she's trying to figure out what happened to a group of smugglers that her employer has asked her to like go into this cave and see what happened, and that's how the book opens up. And what she finds down there is this guy that's injured, and he has a relic that basically has him in a bubble of suspended time. So in order to save him, because he saves her when she's running away from like the crazy shit that she finds in the cave, she accidentally binds him to her. So we now are following her, trying to figure out how she can save him and also like undo this binding, because apparently in doing this, she thought it was just as simple as like binding the relic that he was bound to herself, but it actually like ipso facto binds the two of them together. And apparently that's bad. It's going to make her body like implode on the two of them, I suppose. And he's following her around like a shadow, and his name is Farain, and he can hear her and interact with her even though he's not supposed to. So there's quite a lot going on here. There's definitely some politics, I think, that are happening in the background, and I'm really interested to see where the magic system is going. It's very ephemeral, very fever dreamy, but also has like a well-written classic style of like fantasy writing to it. And I'm pretty sure this is a standalone. I'm gonna have to double check and come back on my next update, which may very well be just like the end of this readathon at this point because I'm burnt out. But I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit and pretty happy that I have picked it up. So I will be back with an update. As you can see, we have moved on to the evening wear portion of the readathon, aka just a big t-shirt with no pants. So TGYL with that. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Wow. Holy cannoli. As you saw, we did it. I did it. But through the strength of all of you at home watching after I already filmed it. But the thought of it is what got me through. Wow. Okay. So let me start with, I'm still yelling into the tiny mic. I'm so sorry. I have got to calm down. Let me start with my update for Asunder by Kirsten Hall. So I am now about 170 pages in, which lands me at, in case you were wondering, for the total books read for this 24-hour readathon Home Alone long weekend vlog. 6 books total. I'm going to put them up on the screen at the end, and 170 pages into book number 7, which I am quite pleased with myself. I will pop up total pages read as well. I'm thinking it's somewhere around 800, which I'm also pretty proud of. So Asunder. We have now traveled to the homeland of Karis, and some crazy shit has gone down. We're finding out some things about her childhood, which has not been great, and we're kind of getting almost like quest vibes kind of coming through, and it's all impinging on the plot point of we have to like unbind Farain from her, otherwise they're both gonna die. But we're finding things out about his character and his background and his kind of like what his deal is that is making me very, very interested to continue on. But alas, my eyes just can't handle it anymore. So I'm ending this readathon. I'm sorry that the end was a little bit slow. Just in case you're wondering, I will talk about this in my March wrap up, and I'm definitely planning on finishing it in the next couple of days because I'm really enjoying it. It's feeling 4-star. It's giving 4-star energy, which I'm very pleased with. So yeah, thank you so much if you watched. If you have made it to the end of this, leave me a something about time, a clock, a watch, I don't know, something down below, or just, comment if you're interested in any of these books, or, tell me how your day is going. I just want to talk to some peeps in the comments. So thank you if you watched. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so I can get more of my book bullshit out to more people. And with that, I bid you adieu. Bye.